From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, the Tanana man accused of assaulting a village public safety officer in Tanana just one day before 2 Alaska State Troopers were killed inside his home was in Fairbanks District Court.
That's right. Although a trial was set for tomorrow in Nenana, Arvin Kangas was in court to change his plea. We have more now in this report.
Arvin Kangas, the father of the Tanana man accused of slaying 2 Alaska State Troopers inside of his residence in Tanana, pleaded guilty this afternoon to a single count of assault in the 4th degree.
Do you wish to accept that offer from the state of Alaska?
We have accepted it.
All right.
A judge ordered Kangas to serve 30 days of jail time, suspending 150 days.
If you violate those conditions of release and a petition to revoke probation comes before this court, bring your toothbrush. You're going to jail for 150 days.
Kangas is still facing multiple felonies in connection to the shooting death of the 2 state troopers on May 1st. Today in court, Kangas' defense claimed his son Nathaniel, charged with murder, has long suffered from a mental illness.
No, it's myself because I have another son to raise, and if I lose here, and then with the way everything is, I will not be there with my son, and I don't trust my wife, and my son will be dead.
The VPSO, who was assaulted April 30th, commented today on the behavior exhibited from Kangas at all of his court proceedings.
He does not show any remorse. His behavior has not changed from April 30th and May 2nd. A good example would have been when he requested that he might need bodyguards and an attorney to accompany him once he's released from all these criminal charges.
Trial for both Nathaniel Kangas and his father Arvin is scheduled for April 2015. Nathaniel faces charges of murder, and his father Arvin is facing multiple felonies, including tampering with physical evidence. From Fairbanks District Court, I'm Stephanie Woodard reporting.
Although motorists may be enjoying lower gas prices, one of the biggest losers from the $50 a barrel drop in oil prices in the last 6 months is the U.S. Energy Department itself. The Energy Department owns about 700 million barrels of oil it has stored underground in locations around the country in what's called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. It's lost about $35 billion in value since June. Since a large amount of Alaska's revenue comes from oil, the price drop is also having a major impact here. The state is putting together a budget and has to work with the price of oil to do it.
Our philosophy going into this is to pull no punches, put it out there, make sure that we put in as realistic an oil price as we can, because it doesn't do anyone any services to essentially pick a price that's not realistic, and then we set a budget and then we end up busting it.
Crews were working to clean up about 1,200 gallons of fuel after an accident on the Dalton Highway. The Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation says the Big State Logistics truck rolled off the road near mile 189 and the trailer later caught fire. First responders pumped an additional 9,000 gallons from the truck into another trailer. The truck was headed from Fairbanks to the North Slope carrying ultra-low sulfur diesel. The driver of the truck was taken to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital for treatment and released shortly after. DEC says the cause of the accident and fire is under investigation.
Alaska State Troopers are seeking the public's assistance in locating a man involved in a drug sale gone bad yesterday. Now, according to a release, 24-year-old Gabriel Cotton ran from the area of Mary Lee Avenue after the Bureau of Highway Patrol intervened in a drug transaction between Cotton and 28-year-old Matthew Stearns. Both fled the scene, but with the help of K-9 Chevron, Stearns was apprehended a short time later. Stearns was taken to Fairbanks Correctional Center and charged with hindering prosecution in the 1st degree, possession of methamphetamine, and other charges. Now, anyone with information regarding Gabriel Cotton's whereabouts is urged to contact troopers at 451-5100.
All right, when we come back, the Fairbanks area said hello to its new bishop with a special event at the Carlson Center.
Also, the United Way will welcome McDonald's in North Pole tomorrow. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The president of the University of Alaska system will step down this summer. Pat Gamble says he will retire in June. He reportedly announced his plans to the Board of Regents on Friday. Now, Gamble was appointed to the post in June of 2010 following a national search. Regents will discuss how a replacement will be found at a January board retreat.
More than a year after Bishop David Kettler was called to serve in St. Cloud, Minnesota, the Fairbanks Diocese officially has a new bishop. Bishop Chad Zielinski was ordained as the 6th bishop of the Fairbanks Diocese during a ceremony held at the Carlson Center late this afternoon. More than 1,000 people attended the Mass that installed Bishop Zielinski as the head of the largest diocese in the United States. The Fairbanks Diocese encompasses more than 400,000 square miles. Anchorage Archbishop Roger Schweitz served as the principal consecrating bishop during the Mass. Bishop Zielinski has chosen "He must increase, I must decrease" as his motto to lead the diocese. It is taken from the 3rd chapter of St. John's Gospel, and the newly ordained bishop says the scripture is based on humility and faith.
It's a powerful witness to the faith of the people of the Diocese of Fairbanks. I think it's an opportunity for people to come together as a diocese amidst the diversity of cultures, of parishes, and to be united. The office of the bishop is that you're the shepherd of all of these people. And so I pray that as all these people gather here, that they see the significance of Christ in our ministry within the diocese.
The Fairbanks Hotel Motel Discretionary Fund Committee today announced bed tax distribution amounts for 2015. $270,000 worth of funds were dispersed among 25 nonprofit agencies. The Fairbanks Arts Association claimed the largest piece of the pie with an award of just over $46,000. The Yukon Quest will receive just under $30,000, while ICE Alaska was awarded just over $24,000 in bed tax funding. The Alaska Dog Mushers Association and Festival Fairbanks rounded out the top 5 awardees. Committee Chair and Fairbanks City Councilman Jim Matherly says the deciding factor on fund distribution is based on the agency's request and how it intends to spend the money.
I like to read the material, but I'm much more of a face-to-face person. So I like to see those folks come in. And then, of course, the third thing we look at is the actual request and what it's going to be used for. Does it really fit into our parameters? Is it really going to help tourism?
Volunteers with the United Way of the Tanana Valley have organized a fundraiser with McDonald's businesses across the interior. Called Golden Hearts and Arches, the event will take place at every McDonald's, including the brand new North Pole location. Volunteers from the United Way will be on hand at different restaurants to work behind the counters and take orders from customers. A portion of the proceeds that evening will benefit the 21 agencies that the United Way helps each year.
Yep, helping out behind the counter and selling pies and taking donations for the United Way. There's 21 member agencies of the United Way, and it's a broad spectrum of our community, and so lots of people, use the services of those 21 agencies, so it's a little boost for those agencies and helps them out with their budgets.
I'm excited about working with United Way and McDonald's, bringing in contributions to the United Way. And really excited about being able to work with the new McDonald's in North Pole. To me, it says that they're community-minded and they support the community that supports them.
The event will take place tomorrow, December 16th from 5 to 8 p.m.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with another full weekend recap of your local sports.
Stay with us.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with your weekend recap. The Nanooks made it happen. Alaska closed out 2014 on Saturday night with a win, hosting the Alabama Huntsville Chargers at the Carlson, and the Nooks wasted no time as Nolan Heisman scored at the 6-minute mark of the first period on a power play. Colton Pareko and Nolan Kaiser with the helpers. Less than 2 minutes later, the Morley brothers, they linked up for a score. Brandon with the assist, and Tyler got the goal, which gave UAF a 2-0 lead. Defenseman Josh Atkinson, he added a power play goal in the second period, and Marcus Bassara got in on the action with another power play goal in the third. Davis Jones, he stayed alert, making 14 saves as Alaska wins 4-0. It's Jones' third shutout of the year. The Nooks went 3 for 7 on power plays and outshot the Chargers 87-31 in this series. It's the first Saturday night win since October 18th and the first sweep of the season for the Nanooks.
Defensively, I think having the puck is the best defense, and I think this weekend we had a lot of puck possession. We did a great job of possessing the puck, cycling the puck, moving the puck in transition, and when you do that, you don't have to play defense. So I think those were probably the two keys.
Anytime you can go into a layoff like that where you're feeling pretty good about where your game's at, you're able to enjoy your break and come back refreshed and ready to go for the second half.
The Fairbanks Ice Dogs will go into the Christmas break on a winning note. After their third loss, a 1-4 decision to the Minnesota Magicians on Thursday, the Ice Dogs flipped the script with a 4-1 win on Saturday. Adam Anderson and Chandler Mondry's goals gave the Banks 2-0 advantage in the first period in this wire-to-wire win. The Gorowski brothers added the final 2 scores. Fairbanks outshot Minnesota 39-18 in the Saturday night win. Patrick Munson made 17 saves in his 15th win of the season. The Ice Dogs are now 19-9-3, and they will be back on the ice on December 30th. A couple of interior athletes took bronze at the 3A State Wrestling Championships in Bartlett High School on Saturday night. Jared Virgin of Glen Allen placed 3rd in the 106-pound class, and Galena Cynthia Kruger took 3rd in the 132-pound division. In the first Alaska High School's girls state wrestling tourney, Hutchinson's Jesse Roll placed 6th in the 285-pound class. Kotzebue won the team title with 224 points in the 58-team field. Glen Allen placed 20th overall. Hutchinson finished 26th, Galena 30th, Allison 37th, and Monroe 40th, respectively. Now, high school basketball. The game of the night was the Hutchinson Hawks and the Lathrop Malamute girls game on Saturday night. Hutch was up 14 points in the third quarter after an Ashley Stark bucket. She had a game-high 15 points, but Lathrop freshman Jana Hadukovic nailed a 3 to tie it at 42 all with 3 minutes left in the comeback. She had a team-high 14 points. Kaden Peterson, she hit 2 free throws to tie the game, but Lathrop senior Shakira Shaw, she drew a foul with 2.3 seconds left. She went to the line and calmly hit both shots. Hutchinson's last shot fell short, and Lathrop wins 47-45 in front of an energized home crowd.
That I gotta make these. If free throws make everything, like, that's how you win a game. So I knew I had to make them, and I'm one of the only seniors on the team, so I was like, well, at halftime when we went into the room, we were like, we're not gonna lose. We refused to lose this game. And that's how we came out, all hyped and everything, and won the game.
In the boys' game, it was silent night in honor of the late Joe T, but the visitors broke the silence. Hutchinson's Michael Benson nailed a 3 to give Hutch an 11-8 lead. But Benson, he scored a game-high 25 points. And Lathrop's Gabe Howard, he provided the spark, though, with a solo 6-0 run. And Lathrop would not look back. They went inside to Kobe Milk, who led the Malamutes with 20 points. Full court press forced a number of turnovers and layups for the Mutes in the second half as Lathrop wins their home opener 86-58 over Hutch and improved to 2-0.
Well, personally, I was offended by it because usually you'd want the home team to score the 10th point. So I took it personal because we wanted that 10th point. It's a good feeling to get the win because you always obviously want to win first home game. We got to win for Joe T.
And now we wrap up the weekend recap with this week's I-5 Interior Top 5 Plays.
At number 5, West Valley's Daniel Hornbuckle showing off the hops with the throwdown, 2 of his 19 points in the Wolfpack's 65-24 season opening win over Chugiak on Saturday. At number 4, North Pole's Dylan Latham scores the game-winning goal in the third period in a 3-2 win over Lathrop on Wednesday. At number 3, Davis Jones gets his 3rd shutout of the year for UAF, making 14 saves in a 4-0 win over the Alabama Huntsville Chargers on Saturday night. At number 2, Jana Hadukovic with the game-tying 3 in the fourth quarter. She had a team-high 14 points as Lathrop comes back from 14 down to win 47-45 over Hutchinson on Saturday. At number 1, Taylor Money Time Munson scores the game-winning overtime goal in a 2-1 win over the Chargers on Friday night as the Nanooks get their first WCHA sweep of the season. To vote for the Play of the Week, click on your play on the I-5 poll on Webster11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube posts and send a tweet to KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The Play of the Week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the weather for a Monday night. Mike Schultz with you once again. Hope you had yourself a good weekend. Not a whole lot going on. It's a pretty quiet weather pattern, and we're expecting it to continue that way all the way through the weekend, the way it looks right now. We'll keep you more informed just a little bit later on. Our photograph tonight, another nice holiday spirit photograph. This one's sent in by Charles Young. He is able to every year put up a great display of lights over out there off Fairbanks Avenue off of Geist, and you can see here some beautiful lights and a good time to take your kids to see some really cool lights to enthrall them by all means. And by all means, send us more of those photographs, those holiday photographs. We'd be more than happy to share them with the audience. Photos at KTVF11.com. That's the address. Right now, 10 degrees at the airport. After a high of 16, the low last night 4. There's your record high in 1986 up to 33 degrees, a record low 55 below in 1946. Sunrise and sunset, about 3 hours and 46 minutes, a loss of 2 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite radar, again, you can see the flow mainly out of the southeast. That means the Alaska Range blocks out a lot coming in. We're just getting high-level clouds. That's about it. More rain falling across southeast Alaska and across the Prince William Sound area. On our latest map, you can see the rain is being reported around Ketchikan and Juneau. Temperatures in the low 40s, 31 degrees, cloudy skies at Anchorage. Not too bad there. Elsewhere, some rain showers along the Aleutian Chain at 34 degrees at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, looking at lots of sunshine. 22 at Nome, 19 below in Barrows, the cold air trapped north of the Brooks Range, and 2 below at Fort Yukon. Lower 48 weather, the rains have returned to the west coast from Seattle all the way down to San Diego. It's raining and more rain expected. That's helping the drought situation, but not helping the flash flood potential. Across the Central Plains, once again, we have lots of sunshine from Minneapolis right on down into Texas. And a little bit of rain over the northeast, as you can see here in New York. On the satellite radar, a nice area of low pressure, really well defined, not too strong, bringing a little bit of rain and snow across the Great Lakes. And behind it, the cold air is starting to pull the cold temperatures down into the area where they'd be turning the rain to snow. And on the west coast, once again, we have a real good band of moisture moving across the Pacific Ocean, bringing the rain that we were talking about. So tomorrow's forecast calling for rain all up and down the west coast. It'll be cooler across the desert southwest and over the Rocky Mountain region, and maybe the snow shower activity. And as far as the jet stream, look at that dive. It takes way down to the south, pulling that cold air down, rain across parts of the deep south, and more rain over the Pacific Northwest. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here this looks like northern sections, partly cloudy in Barrow. Some snow showers expected known, and just mainly cloudy skies at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, very quiet once again, just cloudy skies for Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta Junction, with the rain continuing over southeast Alaska, rain showers at Juneau, and a chance of rain in the Ketchikan area. Also over southwest part of the state, mostly cloudy skies, scattered snow showers in Bethel and Cold Bay, and clouds at Kodiak region. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, looking at rain and snow at Anchorage and Homer, and periods of snow at Valdez. Well, it's a new week. Once again, a time for some new blood, as far as we say, as far as the kids are going. We're looking at Kids Weather Watch, and you can see here we're looking at North Pole Elementary School this week, featuring tonight a young lady with an interesting story.
Hi, my name is Ariana from Mrs. McHenry's class, North Pole Elementary, and this is the weather story about winter safety. First, you should wear your snow gear. Always carry a blanket in your car. Also, watch out for black ice and keep a light with you. Please be safe this winter.
Thank you, Ariana. And tomorrow night, we'll have once again another young lady with a picture to share with us. And again, as always, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our Kids Weather Watch. Here's your forecast for tonight. Mostly cloudy and continued very mild, 2 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast calling for another day with high clouds and mild, 14 degrees. And 5 days tomorrow till we start getting our daylight back once again. And as far as our 5-day outlook, maybe a few snow showers on Wednesday. After that, just mainly partly cloudy to cloudy skies right on through the 5-day period. And temperatures, once again, very consistent, right around 10 degrees for the daytime highs. Overnight lows will be in mainly the single digits below zero. And like I said, no snow in the forecast. And all we can do is just get happier and happier because we're getting in the spirit, right?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We are in the spirit.
I think we all got a case of the Mondays because we had our holiday party last Friday.
We did, and you guys were all singing it up.
Yep, karaoke.
Having a good time.
Well, they did. I
Mike was
was
cutting
working.
a rug.
I was providing highlights Friday night. So.
Oh, yeah, you were.
But I was there in
You
spirit.
missed Mike Schultz and his wife Darlene. They were just dancing.
Oh, cutting a rug.
Singing.
Having a good time.
Yep, absolutely.
Grooving.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News.
Turning
we
red.
are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, that's not easy to say, a tragic situation in Sydney, Australia. Hostage crisis ends in death for the captors and 2 others. That's next with Brian Williams.
All right, well, join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime, of course, at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.